fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and Head Left D tuned in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Tune in to the fish report.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. I'm Craig. That's Ken. TK and Heavy D, you know where they're at. They're back in the sound room. We'll be talking to them in just a little bit. Ken, our spring sports season got off to a little bit of a slow start because of the snow this past Saturday, but things are well underway now, and we're awfully excited because the hometown team, the Russia Raiders, gotten off to a very good start in all spring sports.
Absolutely, Craig. You know, the baseball team's off to a 2-0 start. The softball girls are off to a 2-0 start. Girls track team last night finished in first place at the Joe Ward Invitational, and the boys team did very well also. So, yeah, Raiders are off to a great start, Craig, but more importantly, we got sunshine on the way, warmer weather, and keep the rain away, Craig, and we'll be playing a lot of sports here in the next 6 weeks.
That's right, and it's kind of a guys' night tonight. Last week was kind of a girls' night, but tonight's kind of a guys' night. That's because we're talking baseball and boys track, including some big interviews.
Yes, we got a big interview with Russia baseball seniors tonight, Craig. Their Raiders are led by 7 seniors, a nice group of kids returning from last year's regional runner-up team. And, we're also looking forward. We're going up north, Craig, talking to Botkins track star Austin Jones. And also we're going to have you some highlights of the Joe Ward Invitational, as well as a few other exciting things. All
right, well, before we get to all that, just like we do every week, do have that weekly trivia question to get to. What do you got for me tonight?
Absolutely, Craig. Well, we're going to talk some high school baseball tonight. And last year, the final state coaches poll came out. What team in Division IV was ranked number 1 in the final state coaches poll?
Number 1 last year in the final state coaches poll.
Yes, was it Minster, St. Henry, Russia, or Lehman?
All right, 4 good choices there, 4 good teams last year. I just sent that out on Twitter, so all the viewers out there that have Twitter that follow us can answer that. And then also, if you're on the Fish Report Live page, you'll notice the trivia question is now on the page. If you scroll down there just a little bit, you can answer it there as well. We'll check on the answers at the end of the show.
All right,
well, let's get things started, Ken, talking a little baseball. And as we mentioned, the Russia Raiders off to a good start at 2-0 right now under the leadership of head coach Rick Gold, who actually is in his 3rd year at Russia, his 33rd year overall in coaching. And I want to ask you a question about coaching at this level. You know, when you think about coaching on a professional level, like in baseball or football or basketball, I think those professional coaches, it's more about managing personalities. But at this level, at the high school level, I think a lot of it's teaching, isn't it?
Absolutely, Craig. You know, a lot of it's the fundamentals. It's a lot about teaching the things that he's learned over the last many years of his coaching. But, there's also leadership, Craig. You want to keep the kids together as a team. You've got 7 seniors. You've got a very talented junior class. You've got a few very good sophomores. So you got a very big team here on the Raider varsity team, all of whom could be playing a lot of positions. But unfortunately, 9 can play at a time. So I think a lot of it, Craig, is also, keeping the good bond of the team, keeping the team together, and going out and winning baseball games.
Well, he's done a fabulous job the last couple years for sure. This area has been blessed with a lot of good coaches in the area and the SCL, and he's got a lot of good assistants to help him out there.
Absolutely.
Too. So anyway, on Monday night, we did get a chance to stop into Russia before their first home game hosting Botkins and talk to Rick Gold's 7 seniors. And let's check out the video and see what they had to say. Fish Report Live here at Russia High School Baseball Diamond with Raiders senior Austin Tebby. And Austin, you won a county title in golf this past fall. You won another one in basketball this past winter. What would it mean to you your senior year to go out with another title in baseball?
It would mean a lot to me. It would just show that throughout all these years that I've been practicing in all these sports, it would just be really great to know that all the hard work paid off in the end, and then I could win one in every county sport my senior year.
We're here now with Raiders senior Brian Drees. And Brian, my favorite highlight from you last year had to be that diving catch you made against Laramie in the sectional finals out there in right field. You guys won that game 8-4. Tell me some things as an outfielder, what you work on to be a good outfielder.
Oh, you got to work hard on your drop steps and your angles that you take towards the ball. Last year we worked a lot on pursuit angles. Just cut a ball off and take the shortest distance. Just got to be quick and be able to read a ball.
We're here now with Raiders senior Isaiah Counts. And Isaiah, you're kind of the big question mark this season. You played a good sophomore season. Last year you were out because of Tommy John surgery. You're back for your senior year. Tell me, how do you feel out there on the mound right now? And are you concerned at all when you get out there about your arm?
I'm feeling pretty good, coming back strong, about 90% now. Definitely a concern off the field, taking care of it, but on the field it's all about getting guys out and concentrating on hitting your spots.
We're here now with Russia senior Bailey Francis. Bailey, you were a first-team All-County player last year, one of the team leaders in batting average and RBIs. Yeah, one critique of this team last year was maybe their ability to hit. What kind of things are you guys going to do this year to maybe get better at that?
We've been working a lot on our point of contact with the tees in the gym, letting the ball get deep. Hopefully that creates more drive with the ball and get deeper hits and better hits, keep them down.
We're here now with Russia senior Cole McEldowney. And Cole, you were a second-team All-County player last year. You've been playing the position of shortstop since you've been a freshman here at Russia. Do you feel like coming into your senior year you're kind of a leader on this team, or does the team even need a leader?
Definitely. Coach always talks to us about shortstop being the leader of the infield. And so I've tried to fill this role with all the basketball players coming back late. They really need some help to get back into it. So I've been helping them out with Coach and all the other coaches new this year, and we've really been getting up to speed quick.
We're here now with Russia senior Tyler Young. And Tyler, can you tell me a little bit about maybe what some of the Raiders' goals are this season?
What we plan on doing is just keep everyone's head up. Just because we're down by a couple runs doesn't mean we're out of it.
We're here now with Raiders senior Randy McCarty. And Randy, some say that the Raiders kind of come into this season with a little bit of a target on their back after going to the regional finals last year. Been a little bit of hype about what the Raiders are going to bring back this season. How do you handle it when you hear talk like that?
Well, we know we're going to be good this year, and the county knows we're going to be good this year. We're bringing back a good core with all the juniors and seniors we got. We're just going to do what we can do and win all the games we can win. Hopefully get to state this year, bring home a championship.
All right, and that was the 7 Russia seniors on the team this year. And Ken, two big parts of the game are obviously pitching and hitting. Russia's been doing real well with hitting and pitching. That first night, that home opener against Botkins, your son Nolan started that game, did very well, was relieved by Isaiah Counts, who finished and did a nice job. And then last night, if that's not a good enough 1-2 punch for you, last night a couple juniors came in and did the job as well.
Absolutely, Craig. Russia had a tough road game last night at Minster. Minster's won 2 of the last 3 state championships, Craig, and all junior Gavin Hoyne and junior Jacob Plyman did. They went out there and held the Wildcats to 2 runs. Pitched phenomenal, no walks, 1-hit batter all night, gave up about 5 hits. So just a real nice to see deep pitching staff here at Russia. And you're right, that's what it takes to go out and win a lot of baseball games. And I think Russia has the depth.
And as far as hitting goes, one of the hitters, I guess, that's kind of a surprise to me this year is a fabulous young sophomore by the name of Zach Sherman. Kind of stepped up this year. He's been playing real well the first 2 games, hasn't he?
Well, Craig, I knew Zach could hit going back to about 7th grade. We used to play that team every once in a while, and Zach could hit back then, and Zach can still hit. As a matter of fact, I had a Russia fan, not even a parent of a player, but a couple weeks ago, a Russia fan asked me, who could be a surprise for us this year? First guy out of my mouth was Zach Sherman. They said, Zach Sherman? Really? What position is he going to play? I said, I don't know, but he can hit.
Well, he's in the DH position right now, and he's doing very well the first 2 games.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I know there's more good teams in the area than just the Russia Raiders. I want to go back to the sound room for this, guys. Let's just focus on the SCL and maybe give me a couple other teams in the league that we should watch and maybe a few players.
Yeah, good call. A little bit about Zach. Not really a surprise for me. His dad hit about 235 his senior year. So, yeah, who's going to be hot this year in the SCAL? We've got Anna, always strong in baseball. Josh Robinson, senior pitcher, 6'4", had 11 Ks against Fairlawn the other night. Look for him to be on the mound all year and putting up some big numbers there. Carter Bentzman covering the middle infield. Botkins, we've got Christian Hoskins. Christian led the SCAL last year in batting average. He batted .465. Played in the Summer League World Classic. Pitched and some shortstop. Laramie, keep an eye out for them. Long history of baseball. Lone senior Zach Brandewie will be leading the team this year, hard hitting, and so we got Anna Botkins, Fort Army. Gonna make a run at it.
TK, you in agreement with all that?
Oh, yeah. I'm all over that.
All right. Well, we'll come back to you a little bit later and talk some track in the second half with you. But, yeah, I expect the league to be competitive, Ken. And Botkins got beaten that first game against Russia, but they did bounce back. Last night against Newton, I think won that one 12-1. And they'll be right in there.
Botkins will be a good team. And, Craig, baseball is a funny game. It's – you could hit the heck out of the baseball one night, but everything you hit is right at them, and the other team could have a pitcher on the mound throwing a lot of junk or actually bringing it pretty good that night, and he could shut you down. So, baseball's a funny game. Anybody can win. Like they say in the major leagues, Craig, everybody's going to win a third. Everybody's going to lose a third. It's the other third that really matters the most. So, high school baseball is not quite that dramatic. Your good teams are going to win the majority, but again, any night anybody can beat anybody. But one kid to keep an eye out for, Craig, is Fairlawn Junior pitcher Jacob Marvin. The kid throws very hard. He's got great stuff. I don't know what kind of defense he's going to have behind him, Craig, but this is the kind of kid that could go out and really surprise a team and just really shut down a very good baseball team. The boy can actually he's a pretty good pitcher.
Jacob Marvin.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have to write that one down.
Write it down.
Junior over at Fairlawn.
Junior at Fairlawn.
All right. Well,
played for Mechanicsburg through junior high, moved over to Fairlawn School District, and he's the real deal.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eye out for him. All right, well, that's going to do it for our baseball talk. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk some boys track, including those highlights last night or a couple interviews from the Joe Ward Invitational in Sydney, and then we'll also have that big interview with Botkins track star Austin Jones. You won't want to miss that. Stay there. We'll be right back.
My baby finally gave up on me. I can't say that I'll blame her. She just got tired of playing a losing game. I should suck on my pride and beg that girl to come back home. Deep down I know she's better off, 'cause fools like me are meant to die alone. Someone give me one good reason, one good reason to smile. I'm trying to be that guy my mother prayed that I would be. Some days I feel like hit the mark, some days I fail hopelessly. I think I'm alright, I just stumble from time to time. Oh, my mother knows I'm trying to be that guy.
Welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live. And before the break, we were talking some baseball. Now we're going to talk a little bit of boys track. And Ken, track, a little bit different than baseball. Baseball, you do want to win every game as early as possible and try to get yourself in a good position for tournament draw. Not quite the same philosophy with a track team, is there?
No, it's not, Craig. Like you said, baseball, you want a good record going in the tournament draw, improves the seeding, which can help you during your tournament run. Track's a lot different, Craig. Track, you're kind of feeling the kids out early in the season. The kids are trying to get into better shape. You really, the cold weather, you don't want anybody to get hurt, and you're really preparing for the end of the season. And when you break it all down, Craig, there's really the four biggest meets in a track season are the last four. Your Shelby County League meet, or your MAC meet, whatever you're in, the district, the regional, and the state. So those are really the only 4 meets that matter, Craig. And where you end up during the season in the quad meets and things like that, you know, a lot of it's practice, a lot of it's training, and a lot of it's the coaches trying to figure out what the combination is that's going to provide them with the most points in the league meet or in the district meet or so on.
All right. Well, a few of them area teams did get started last night, and up in Coldwater, I know the Fort Laramie ran as well as Anna, and like I said, Coldwater had a meet up there, and then last night's Joe Ward Invitational in Sydney. It's an annual meet that Russia always goes to, and we actually, our own TK was out and about there, taking some video, getting a couple interviews, and let's take a look at that video and see who TK had to talk to.
All right, this is Fish Report Live. We're here at the Joe Ward Invitational in Sydney talking to Rushi Senior Johnny Hewing. Johnny, what are you running in this year?
This year I'm running the 100 and the 200.
All right, so this is the first meet of the year. What's it like to be out here, getting outside and finally running some competition?
Well, it's a beautiful day out. Can't complain about the weather. We have a new team this year, so of course you're going to have the struggles with upcoming freshmen, like learning their place and stuff like that. And quite frankly, this is a new year for me. I've been putting in different events every year. This is about the first year I'm a sprinter, so we'll see how it goes.
With Rushi Senior Nick Paulus. Nick's in his last year as a track star here at Rushi. What events are you in this year, Nick?
I'm in shot put and discus.
All right, did pretty well today. I think you got a 5th place or 4th in shot.
Yeah, I had 3rd place.
Or 3rd place, sorry about that. So good job today. Last year, I think you set the Rushi record for shot put. How was that? I know that was one of your goals last year.
Yeah, it felt really good. Gave me a lot of things to work for this year, though.
All right, so I assume you're still charging to expand that goal and go a little bit further with your school record?
Definitely. I want to make it as high as possible.
All right, that was a couple interviews with Rushi's John Hewing and Nick Paulus, and a good job there, TK, at the Joe Ward Invitational last night. Well, Ken, one team in the area that's always you got to keep your eye on is the Botkins boys teams. They're traditionally a team to watch. They actually open up their season tomorrow night, Thursday, at New Bremen, and one of their stars last year he was a sophomore last year, Austin Jones. He's back again this year as a junior. We're happy to have him live on the phone right now. Austin, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
No problem, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Well, listen, I know it's been a busy year for you. You were one of the stars in the Botkins cross-country team that made it to the regionals this past fall. Then you jumped right into basketball, and now it's on the track season. So I guess the first question is, how are you feeling? I mean, are you healthy and ready for track?
I'm feeling great, Craig. I mean, I finally got over that IT band injury I had this past cross-country season, and I fixed another little knee injury I had by going back to my old type of shoes. And I'm also trying out training in the morning with a VO2 mask. But overall, I'm loving running pain-free, and I can't wait for this upcoming season.
All right, well, that's good to hear. Your head coach over there is Ryan Gutman, who's actually been on this show a few times. Give us a little preview of the Trojan boys team. Besides yourself, who should we keep an eye on this spring?
Well, speaking of Coach Gutman, I just wanted to say that I think he's doing a great job with the team this year. Our training's been getting better every year, and also Coach Smirgy and Coach Underwood are doing great with the sprinters and throwers. But I think our team will surprise some people this year. We'll definitely be better than we used to be. Cameron Flora had a great season in cross last year, and he's only getting better. Aaron Pollenkamp also came on stronger regionals. By the way, he beat me in that race for the one and only time in his career, and he doesn't let me forget it. So he'll love to hear that I mentioned that on the show. But we also have 4 or 5 freshmen on the team this year. Drake Woodruff and Jonathan Yenser both ran on the regional team this past year, and they'll help us out in the relays. And so will Michael Smock. But we also got Josh Miller. He'll definitely help us in the throwing department. I think he won county in the shot and disc last year in junior high, and I think he also set a record in the shot put, so that'll be great help for us this year.
Austin, hi, this is Ken. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. You open your season Thursday night at New Bremen. What events do we expect to see you running Thursday night, and what is your primary focus as the season goes on?
Hey, Ken. I think Coach will mostly put me in the mile, 800, 4x8, and probably the 4x4, but I'll probably get in a few 400s and 2 miles as well. Seems like a success running the 800, so that'll definitely still be my favorite event to run.
Talk to us a little bit about the strategy in the 800. You had a great year last year in it. Do you let the competition dictate your race, or do you pretty much just go out and run Austin's own race?
Well, I mean, I like to go out fast, and, I usually try to hit certain times, but a lot of it I just let the competition dictate, what I do sort of, because, like if I know I've ran better times than the guys I'm racing against, then I'll probably just push the pace and, go for the win. But if some of the guys I'm racing against have ran better times than me, then I might just hang with them and try to outkick them at the end.
Last year, you were the Shelby County League champ in the 800 with a 2:06. Rushie's Caleb Ball and Anna's Jonathan Burning were right behind you at 2:08. How low, what kind of target do you have this year, Austin? How low can you go?
Well, last year I ended up having a PR of like 2:02, and I mean, I ran that at districts and I think regionals. But this year I'd love to break that 2-minute barrier and hopefully get as close as I can to the school record, which is 1:56. Hopefully that gets me to the state meet in June.
Hey, Austin, one more question and we'll let you go. Now, you've got New Bremen coming up Thursday night, and then you're running right away this Saturday at Versailles. The last time I think Botkins ran that meet was back in 2010. So what's your, it's going to be a first for you. What's your thoughts on running at a new place?
Well, I'm definitely excited to run there. Even though we haven't ran there before, I've always watched on WOSN over the past few years, and it looks like there's always great competition there. So I can't wait to actually be a part of it this year.
All right, well, listen, we're going to let you go. We're glad your IT band's better. Best of luck tomorrow night over at New Bremen, and we look forward to seeing you at Versailles and want to thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks a ton, guys.
Hey, Austin, appreciate you being on the show. And one of your Rushi friends over here did send me a text and told me to remind you that this was Fish Report Live and not ESPN, so... They just told me to remind you of that. But you know what? We're darn close to ESPN, so if I was you, I'd still tell them where you were.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, well, thanks and good luck to you this season.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right, that was Botkins Jr., Austin Jones. And Ken, speaking of that Versailles meet, kind of a neat meet. It's a boys-only meet, and they also kind of split the teams up, don't they? Yeah, they put them in different divisions, Craig, so makes it a lot more competitive amongst schools your own size. And hopefully they have good weather there. They're running the boys on Saturday. They actually running the girls meet, a makeup day, which is going to be tomorrow, which hopefully the weather holds out for them on that one. All right, I do want to go back to the sound room one time. We skipped TK during baseball. I want to talk to him about a little track. And TK, like I said, you were out and about there at the Sydney meet. Your impressions of the first meet of the year for the Raiders and the first meet of the season for all those teams?
Well, it was nice to be out there, Craig, and the best part was it was actually warm. Kind of unusual for the first track meet of the year, but I'm sure we'll have a couple cold ones in the next month before it really warms up. Everybody looked really good. As you said, girls took first, boys took second. Both of them had to come back in the end to pile up some points to get to those positions, and that was good to see that they fought all the way through. Everybody looked real good. And the competition was pretty nice to get against some bigger schools. That's always good for the Raiders to get a little bit different feel. Some other schools that they're not normally used to seeing in the SCAL. So yeah, it was a good meet, a good night. You kind of shortchanged Nick Paulus there on his finish. He got third. He actually finished behind the Montgomery boys there from Lehman, who are very good in the shot. I think you said he was fifth, and he had to correct you there with a third. Now, don't shortchange Nick. I picked that guy to do very well this season, maybe even make a run at going to state. I'm just glad he didn't hurt you, TK. Yeah, I was kind of worried there. I did apologize quickly, and I'll make it up to him. We're going to follow him pretty close, and when he gets that school record, maybe we'll have him back on, and we'll pump him up then. Maybe we'll have Heavy D challenge him to a live shot put throwing contest.
He's going to shot put TK if you don't watch it.
All right, well, I want to bring it back out to you here, Ken, and we talked about Rushi a little bit and Botkins, but let's stick in the SCAL and who else? If you had to pick one guy to keep your eye on this year, one boy, who would it be?
Well, you know, Craig, I'm just going to say Anna's sprinters in general. Anna's just got some great sprinters over there. You know, they're going to be extremely tough to beat. 100, 200, the 4x1, the 4x2, the 4x4. You know, they just rack up lots of points in those sprints and in the sprint relays. You know, obviously their football program, I think, has a lot to do with that. But they got a great coach over there in Dean Stewart. So, you know, he's got a lot to do with it as well. But one Russia kid, Craig, that I feel just runs really loose, just very casual, but he's got just full of energy is Caleb Ball. You know, I look for Caleb to have an outstanding year. He had a great year in cross country this fall, and you know, he's one of these kids that you know, he's just loose enough, Craig, that sometimes I don't think he feels the pain of running hard, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
You know, he just goes out there and he lets it all out on the track. So keep an eye on Caleb Ball.
All right. Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I think Caleb's going to have a good season. We just mentioned Nick Paulus. And then I also agree with you on the Anna sprinters. One sprinter in particular, Brady Cates, senior this year. You mentioned the 100, 200, 400. He won all those last year at County. Actually won a district title, I believe a regional title, and then he did qualify for state. Didn't get to the finals. I think he missed out on the finals by 7/100ths of a second, but he did win last night in Coldwater, so he's definitely one to keep your eye on. Brady Cates.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's about going to do it for our show tonight. I do have one more thing to get to, and that's that trivia question. Why don't you give it to me again, and I'm going to check Twitter out.
All right, Craig. Well, we talked a little high school baseball at the beginning of the show, particularly Division IV, and this area is just flooded with great Division IV baseball, Craig. Which one of these four schools finished last season as the #1 ranked team in the state of Ohio in the coaches' voting poll? Was it Minster, St. Henry, Russia, or Lehman?
Well, now you know we're doing this a little different. You actually give me these questions ahead of time. You give them to me on Tuesday, and believe it or not, I don't look them up. I get your question a day in advance, but I don't look them up. So I really was I had a hard time remembering. I was hoping for a little help tonight, and one of our former guests, Rob Hemmelgarn from up there at the Daily Standard, answered, and he says St. Henry. So he's from up in that neck of the woods. I think he would know that area. I was going to guess Minster, but I'll go with Rob and say St. Henry.
You know, Minster was two-time defending champ coming into last year. They were led by Adam Niemeyer. But you know who the #1 ranked team in the state was at the end of the year? Was the Redskins of St. Henry.
There you go. All right.
So good job. Good job.
Rob Hemmelgarden coming through for me. I was going to guess Minster.
You know, and of those teams, you look at how competitive this area was with Minster, the two-time defending state champ. St. Henry was ranked #1 in the state. Russia was the team that made it to the regional finals, and Lehman Catholic was just loaded. So Russia eventually got beat by Convoy Crestview, who was later beat by the eventual state champion Newark Catholic.
Yeah, that's just shows you what the competition is like in this area.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in. Also want to thank the Russia track team and Russia baseball team for being on the show, as well as Botkins track star Austin Jones. Ken and I and the crew, we're all going to be back again next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the week and good night.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report.